win, 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. They were down by 10, and they come back to beat Green Hill 21-17, down 17-7 in the fourth quarter. Early in the fourth quarter, Dante Cameron cut that margin to just 3. Came with about 6:15 to go in the game. And then the defense forced a punt, and then Cameron broke free for a 78-yard run with 4:13 left to give Oakland the lead. Cameron finished with 157 yards on 16 carries last night and 2 touchdowns. They hold on to win, so Oakland improves to 13-0 and will host the 12-1 Blackman Blaze in a semifinal, the first time that has ever happened because of the change in the TSSAA playoffs. This would have been a quarterfinal matchup in the old format, but in this new format, it is a semifinal matchup. And with the wins by Oakland and Blackman both reaching the semifinals, Rutherford County extends the longest postseason streak in Tennessee, marking 28 consecutive seasons that the county has reached at least the state semifinals. 31 out of the past 32 years, a county team has reached the state semis, state championship game, or won the state title. So that is a very remarkable statistic. 1996 was the last time, and it was a Riverdale double overtime loss to Jefferson County. And that was the last time that Rutherford County has been left out of at least the semifinals. In Division II, we had another semifinalist last night in the PCA Lions. Their playoff run comes to an end with a 31-12 semifinal loss at home to University School of Jackson. They finished their season 9-3, and first semifinal appearance in just 3 years in 11-man football. So the 2025 campaign was a great one for PCA and head coach LeBron Ferguson. So next Friday, we've got 2 Rutherford County teams that will be practicing over Thanksgiving break and playing each other. Oakland hosting the Blackman Blaze. The other 6A semifinal is Ravenwood and Southwind. Ravenwood was a 20-12 winner at Whitehaven, while Southwind put it on Collierville last night, 42-21. So here is our Coaches Show lineup today, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up on the next few weeks. So today we've got Blackman's Matt Kreisky up first, and about 9:30 we'll welcome in Oakland coach Kevin Creasy. Following that, on MTCS Cougar Corner, we're going to do kind of an introductory interview, have both girls and boys basketball coaches on. Shayla Farrell will join me. John's going to do the first 2 interviews. Then Shayla Farrell will be with us, and that'll be followed by Chris Lawson, the boys coach at MTCS. Typically, we are off the on Coach's Show the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and that will be the case. We're also going to be off on the 6th, so our next Coach's Show will be the 13th, and we'll do 2 basketball Coach's Shows. The 6th, what we may do if we have a team playing in the football championship game is just do a small little football show there. But regardless, we're going to start basketball on the 13th and have a girls' week and a boys' week right before the Christmas break. So a little heads up on a programming note or 2. Well, let's get the conversation started. We're going to talk Blackman Blaze football. John Dinkins and Matt Kreisky up next, here to take you through the next hour with Blackman then Oakland conversation. Talking football on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
Hey, all you last-minute shoppers out there, this Christmas, give her something that stops your heart and starts it again from J. Mullins Jewelry. Breathtaking diamonds, custom pieces, and even redesign or repair. At J. Mullins Jewelry, we've been making Murfreesboro sparkle since 1938. Now located at 1640 Memorial Boulevard behind McAllister's brand new location. So stop in and see us. J. Mullins Jewelry, let's make this her brightest Christmas ever. New location, 1640 Memorial Boulevard.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
And this portion of the Coach's Show is brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. And joining me here on the first rung of the program this morning is Matt Kreisky, the head coach of the Blackman Blaze. And we are so glad that you're here, and I know you're glad to be here, still being here and still being alive, right?
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm just glad you're back in the studio.
Well, thanks.
I know why you missed so long. It's because Floyd and my brother's not here today, so you decided to come back because you didn't want to listen to them.
It got so bad. I had to take a break from it a little bit. Well, congratulations first off. One of the biggest. I'm not going to say the biggest game in Blackman history, but it probably, in my opinion, it is.
Yeah.
And I know kudos to the coaching staff and those boys that went out there last night and got the job done.
Yeah, man. I hope I don't get emotional, and I know it's not done yet, but man, I'm really proud. Not just our kids, but for the school, for the community. What I saw last night is what we've been trying to build for the past 3 years, and just to see the smile on the community member's face, man. Mr. Laws came and shook my hand last night at the 50-yard line afterwards, and just to see his smile, and I just knew it. It meant something to him. Mr. Smith, it meant something to him, and that's what it's about. You know, these guys has been there since the doors have been open. And for them to be able to, it's not about me, it's not about our team, but it's about these guys been there since the school's been open and really been building this school, this community, and for them to get this win, man. This is for them, those guys.
When you first came to Blackman, I know we talked. We had I think I was the first person to interview you, and you said they're going to have to adapt to your policies and your way of doing things. And last night seemed like a culmination of all those things just kind of put together. As close to a perfect game as you can get, I think.
Yeah.
And we talked about that it might take a couple of years, and lo and behold, it really has. You guys are here. Regardless of what happens from here on in, I think you all have made a statement that you're here to stay.
Yeah, I get a lot of negative talk about, I want to be a physical football team. I want to be able to run the football. I want to be physical up front and control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's who I am. That's what my dad breeded me to do. He was a former O-line coach, and so that's what I grew up around. So just running the football, controlling the clock, playing great defense. I will never forget when I became a head coach. My dad told me there's two coaches you need to hire. Your first coach needs to be an offensive line coach, and your second hire needs to be a defensive back coach. And I think we've got one of the best offensive line coaches around, and we do have the best defensive back coach in the state. And so, and it shows. We've gotten better. And I can say this right now. My O-line coach probably doesn't like me a lot, and I'll be honest, but he's stuck through and been with me for 3 years, through the good and through the bad. But we really had a heart to heart going into fall break. Like, we've got to be able to run the football better, and we've got to find a way to get better. And he took that as a challenge and accepted the challenge. And since we got back from fall break, I feel like we have established our run game, and we have gotten better. And that shows you what type of coach he is. Him and Coach Anderton, Coach Eddings, Coach Lazenby, man, they do a great job with our guys, with our offensive line, with our H-backs, man. And I'm really proud of them and how they've developed these guys, and accepted the challenge that I presented them, and really gotten that group really better, bought in. And you can tell those guys have enjoyed practice the past couple of weeks, and it's been fun. And I told somebody last night, these guys have embraced practice since fall break. They've embraced practice since the playoffs, and it's not just about winning, man. These guys, this group loves being around each other, and it's fun. It's just, I told them last night, like, I don't want it to end because it's a special group. I don't want it to end. And it's been fun. And I got to say this, man, my wife's probably glad this week is over with, because I probably was the illest, angriest person when I got home from 6:30, 7 o'clock at night this week, all week. And because I want these guys to have success. It's not about me. It's about them. It's about this community. And I get so worked up. I had coach on the headset last night telling me to calm down. I want these guys to have success. I want this community to have success. They deserve it.
And when you mentioned fall break and how the running game did get better. I mean, it got a lot better, and it seemed like the wins became more impressive as you went along. And you had some big wins. You had a win over Riverdale and that kind of thing. But how impressive you were winning. You kind of. And I hate to say it, and I don't want to jinx anything, but you've run through the playoffs pretty well. I mean, it's been impressive the way y'all have taken care of business and had a big long road trip. People forget about that, the 4.5 hour drive to Dobbins Bennett. But then you come home. You had to feel good that game was at home. But Maryville has so many weapons and so many different ways that they can beat you. I know in the back of your mind you're probably thinking, no, all the points in the world, still not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I was, Coach Eddings upstairs. Coach Eddings has been upstairs with me for about, I guess, 4 or 5 years with me at Centennial now here, and he knows what to say to me during these times. And when we were up 14 points, and I was still worked up. He was like, "Coach, relax, just relax. Keep calling what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Just calm down." He goes, you get worked up, it's going to show. And so, you never with a Maryville team, you don't know. I mean, I don't care if it was 39 seconds left. You don't know. That's how good they are. That's how explosive. We came in last Sunday with the offense staff, and first thing we all said. I mean, everybody agreed. We have to control the time of possession. We have to keep their offense off the field. We all said that. We all were in agreement. They have a quarterback up for Mr. Football. Their receiver's going to Austin P. Heck of a receiver. I was very fortunate to talk to him after the game. They got a running back who's really good, and offensive line, they were huge. Mm-hmm. And so if we let them on the field for the majority of the time and kept our defense out there, it wasn't going to be good for us. And so we challenged our offensive line this week, challenged our running backs, challenged our quarterback, and we told them, like, we have to be on the field. We may not get points, but as long as we're taking time off the clock, that's a huge success for us during the game. We drove down there in the second half and got 3. Yeah. And it's, we should have scored. We got a holding penalty, delay game, which is on me, not the kids. It's on me, and 2 penalties, which we were inside the 10. That's you can't do that against teams like Maryville, Oakland, Ravenwood, and so we were fortunate. We got 3 out of it, but that can't happen next week.
How important was it that first drive? You get the ball, you go down the field, you score, and get that early lead. I felt like that was a big help in the overall game plan and what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. We didn't know Javion's status until 7 o'clock last night. He got banged up last week on Tuesday, and so we didn't know what was going to happen in his position. Probably would not be at Blackman right now. But, man, the way he prepares each and every week, he prepares like he's going to start. And you know, whatever happens, you know, moving forward, man, that young man's got a bright future. And I'm really proud of him, how he's prepared, and really he's helped his team get better the way he runs our scout team. And so, you know, didn't say anything, and I saw him celebrate last night just like he was the starting quarterback. So I'm proud of him. You know, Javion did a great job, you know, overcome his injury. Did a great job leading the team, you know, and making the plays we needed to make. He made some runs that I didn't think he was going to be able to make last night. You know, I talked to my brother, and, you know, one of the things that he felt like we would have an advantage in would be with Javion win the pressure and breaking down and running the football. And we saw that. He did that last night. Really proud of him. Got to give huge shout out to our defense. James Stewart, Tremel, Isaac Levy, Jarrison Daniel, Isaiah Bowles, Emery, you know, Trey Thornton, all those guys on defense. Man, our defense was flying around last night. You know, I've been doing this for a while. I don't know if I've ever seen a defense flying around. I was fortunate part of a 2008 state championship, and I thought we had a really, really good defense, man. They're right there up there with that group.
You know, they say, Coach, the game's won in the trenches, and you won that battle. And I thought really rather easily. I wouldn't have said it during the game, but after looking back, the pressure that they put on Jones almost all night that's hard to do. I mean, for a whole game, and even in the last play of the game when they're trying to score,
yeah,
you know, the defense stood up, and that's an impressive. And not that, you know, it was I think that's a pride thing. You know, we want the score to stay where it is.
There was 39, I believe it was 39 seconds left, and you know, I said something to Coach Crosby. I said, I don't want to score. But I don't know why I had any doubt in our defense that they wouldn't let them score. You know, and you saw that. They executed and did what we asked them to do, and, you know, and they didn't want to get in zone. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest with you, you know, if it wasn't the play where we fumbled and gave them the ball was inside the 10, that was on me. I called a play that I shouldn't have. You know, Javion was rolling out, and with his ankle, shouldn't have been rolling out. And so it was on me. Put our defense in a really bad position, and but they didn't come out there that play. You know, let them score on that first play. But one thing I was impressed, kids didn't get down.
They came right back, and scored. Came
back, we scored. You know, and so that's who we've been all year. You know, and that's one of the most things I've been impressed with this group is that when something like that negative happens, we just don't get down. You know, and so proud of them, how we overcome that. You know, and I just told them, you know, we can't let them back in the ball game. And then we got in at halftime, and I told the kids, like, the game's not over with. Like, yeah, we may won the first 2 quarters, but we got 4 quarters, guys. We got 24 minutes left. How are we going to respond? Because they're going to come back. You know, this is a great team. How are we going to respond? And I thought they did a really good job last night. And I'm really proud of the guys. Really impressed. We've got a really tough challenge next week. You know, and you know, it's something that, you know, we got to be ready for. You know, Coach Creasy's is the best around here. So we've got to prepare these young men and have them ready to play next week.
Let's talk about some people. You've mentioned several, particularly defensively. Offensively, Javion was 12 of 20 for 128 yards and a touchdown, while rushing for 46 yards. Now, that doesn't look to the naked eye, well, that's not that but against Maryville, 12 of 20, 128 yards and a touchdown, and then rushing in the shape that he was in, I would think a little adrenaline helped him a little bit, but getting those 46 yards, those are big ones.
Yeah, yeah. And then I say this, man. People's been negative about our offense all year and how we should be more explosive, man. But these guys execute what we ask them to do. I mean, we'd love to be more explosive, but what we asked Javion to do, what we asked we got 3 really good backs. If we can pound it out, eat the clock up, that helps our defense, you know. And then when we ask Brylan to go up and catch a pass, he's going to do it. When we need him, he's going to do it. He 4 catches, 60-something yards, a touchdown. It was huge. Kari Dixon made a huge catch. I believe it was on a hitch route and cuts it back. You know, that when we ask our receivers, we got Kari Dixon, Brylan Odor, Bryson Mitchell. You know, when we need them to make a play, they make a play.
Well, you saw that last night.
Yeah.
Big clutch catches, you know, when you really needed them.
Yeah, and that's what we ask them to do. You know, I guess I'll get all the negative talk, but that's like, I like to control the football, keep our defense off the field, let them rest, let's eat up some clock, and then let's move forward. But you know, we've got guys that are playmakers. When we need them to make plays, they make plays. You know, and you know, huge shout out to our offensive line. Kenny Jackson leading the way. Terry Baskin, Nacho. You know, Jug. All those young men, Nehemiah. All those guys have done a great job for us, and you know, the entire group. Really proud of them.
I go back and not the old saying, win it in the trenches, man. You guys really dominated that part, that phase of the game. Defensive line putting pressure on their quarterback all night long. It seemed like he was running for his life half the time, and you got to do that against the quarterback. You can't let him sit back there in the pocket and just take his time.
No, he's really good, and you know, when we did give him time, he either ran it or you know, he made a play, and so we're very fortunate. Our guys were able to get some pressure on him and let him not let him escape the pocket, and they did a really good job. So
he's a good runner too. So you not only had to pressure him, but you had to contain him, right? I mean, that's not an easy thing to do a lot of times.
No, not with him. He's a really good quarterback, and so I thought they did a great job, and so I'm really proud of them. The entire defense, defensive staff, and the game plan, what they came up with, and how we executed it.
And I'm sure you were telling all in practice, you got to containment. Mm-hmm. You got to watch him, and they really did that. I mean, I hate to keep using the word perfectly, but that's kind of what they did. I mean, it was a game where they struggled all night offensively, and it's because of the defense, I think.
Yeah, and. Defense, I tell you, one of the big things was defense made a huge stop. I believe it was the second quarter. They punted the ball into the wind, and it bounced back into our, you know, gave a good bounce back towards them, and so it was huge. And so we were able to get the ball, you know, in a good field position and score on it. And so the defense put us in great positions all night long. And then at the end of the game, Braxton Benally had a huge punt, put it down, was it on the 2-yard line? You know, it takes all three. This time of year, it takes all 3 phases of the game to win.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought we did a really good job.
Offense, defense, special teams. I mean, that's. I don't know what else there is to say. Daniel Smith also had a touchdown run. Kemp, 12 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. It was really one of the most team-oriented wins, I think, that I can remember in a while, and I've seen a few in this region, but that was a really good, what you'd call a team win.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, you know, a lot of these communities, there's guys in the stands that's probably been in Blackman since the doors open, and, you know, they were saying, you know, I know our kids heard all week of, you know, since the last time that Maryville beat Blackman, they haven't got over that, and I think it really, you know, our kids heard it all week. And then they heard, you know, there's no way that we'd have a chance against Maryville. They took pride in it. They liked, you know, they accepted the challenge. You know, there's not many people around. I told the guys all week, you know, every day after practice, there's not many people other than us in this huddle right now that believes we're going to win. And it is what it is. You know, we haven't been in this position, you know, when Maryville comes here year in and year out. And so they accepted the challenge. You know, and a huge shout out to them. This is the first time in Blackman history that Blackman has won 12 games in a season. So that's huge. And then these guys accept the challenge, proud of them. But we can't be satisfied. We got to move. Like I told them, enjoy today, but we got to move on because we got a huge challenge next week.
Will Krosky's our guest here on the.
Did you say Will? Did you say you
I
said
did
Will?
say then Matt. Sorry.
Are you serious?
I know. I'm
you're
sorry.
You're missing him.
No, I'm not missing him. Oh, well, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But Matt Krosky, our guest here on the Prentice Salsa Heating and Air Coach's Corner. And, Matt, when you sit here and you would love to, celebrate this thing for, a month, 2 months, whatever. And you just mentioned it. You can't afford to. You got to play next week.
No, I mean, it's. Again, I go back to my wife. She knew as soon as I walked in the door last night that, I'm ready to move on. And she was like, "You're not happy?" I was like, "No, I'm stressing
It's the
about.
way to be.
I'm stressing about Coach Creasy. I'm stressing about Oakland.
Yeah.
But maybe January or end of December I can reflect and enjoy this. But right now, no, I'm not. I'm thinking about our practice plans for next week. Thinking about what we need to do, how we need to prepare. And put these guys in position to win. Because if we as coaches, we as myself, we put these guys in a good position, and give us a chance. They're going to do what we try to our game plan to execute. So it's we got to put them in a great position next week.
With the rescheduling, the realignment of the playoffs this year, having two Rutherford County teams in the semifinals is such a pleasure, such a treat. And I'm going to be biased here, but I think that's the way it should have been for a good while. I mean, and two Rutherford County teams, so somebody's guaranteed a state bid. Does that? I guess it puts more added pressure, I guess, on both teams. I know. I mean, but somebody's going to represent Rutherford County. I think that's a good thing that we're in this position. Yeah.
And if TSSAA, if they want to make money, they should have done this years ago. Because it's huge. They're about making money in these playoff games, and you put two Rutherford County teams in semifinals. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure. Hopefully that Oakland have a great turnout. Hopefully that our Blackman fans will show up, and the entire community. I mean, you got two Rutherford County teams playing in the semifinal game on Thanksgiving week. We expect a huge turnout over there on Patriot Drive, and I got. I think it's 4 or 5 guys that played there on my staff. And so it's going to be huge for them. It's going to be huge. I coached there 8-9 years. I was over there. It's huge. I was part of the 2008 state championship over there. So it's huge. This county football, the brand of football here, is really good. I told a reporter last night from Maryville. Our 5th or 6th team probably could have made the playoffs and probably could have won a playoff game. That's our style of football here. Week in and week out. I told y'all from week 3, it's here on out, it's playoffs.
Well, we talked about getting there. That hasn't been an easy schedule for you to get here in terms of the playoffs. I mean, long travel, then Maryville, and now Oakland. But one thing about it, you guys just seem to always. I mean, it doesn't seem to affect you guys very much in terms of your kids.
No, they just we're at the point where they're embracing practice, they're enjoying around being each other, they're enjoying the process, they're enjoying the film study, and enjoying to get better each week, and to becoming our whole motto each week is to become 1-0. And so once they finally we finally matured as a team. And gotten better and understanding the preparation and what you need to do to prepare for a Friday night football game.
I know there's really to ask this question. I know Oakland's got a good quarterback duo. They've got Travion Jackson, Craig Tutt, Cullen Williams, all those names you throw out there. They're very good depth wise. Got a lot of speed.
Yeah, they do. We're going to slow them down. We're going to play a better offensively. We're going to do a lot better job than we did in the first game, and we want to come out ready to play 48 minutes of football because I know Coach Greasy's going to have those guys prepared and ready to play, and so it's going to be tough, But
and that's another team. No lead is safe. I mean, really, they're similar to Maryville. I mean, you could be up 21-7, and you still got to worry about them.
Yeah. Watching their film last night. Well, Green Hills was up 17-7, and they came back and won 21-17. So it's that's you're gonna have to play 48 minutes, the full 48 minutes of football. So it's gonna be a tough challenge. But I know our guys are gonna accept it. And be ready next week, and so it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for this county. I'm excited for the Blackman community. Second time in school history to make semifinals. This is about the community. One thing I saw. Big Nate, our youth football director. He in 3 years I've been here. I've never seen any emotion for him, but for him to get happy when that clock. Went 0, I turned around and just saw him happy, man. That meant the world to me because I know how much time he invests in this community, in the youth league, and to see that smile on his face and him celebrating meant a lot.
I would imagine there were some tears from people last night.
There was. Clarissa Smith, she was excited.
Yeah.
And so just Kelly Beam, just people that's been around this program for a long time. Rich Allen, Dr. Allen, man, he texts me every week, and and then give me his input, but for people like that to see the win last night and enjoy it, it means the world. That's what it's about, man. These guys that have been invested in this community, in the school, and in this program for years, to enjoy a win like this, it means the world to me.
I know you got a special guest here with you, and he knows about as much as what happened last night as anybody on the coaching staff. In fact, he was telling me it was 1 yard instead of 2 yards, right? Is that what you're saying? But it's exciting for those kids, and I think that's good for football in general in this county and everywhere, because that's what the excitement is, what builds up, and people want to play, people want to be a part of it. And I don't know that any sport is like that other than football.
No, I mean football teaches you life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
We had some things that happened Tuesday. We had some things that happened Thursday that I'd have told you walking in Friday morning to school that I didn't know if we would be ready to play Friday night at 7:00. But I told the kids that's what life's about. You're going to have days in your week where they're not going to be great days. You're going to have a Tuesday that's not going to be great. You're going to have a Thursday that you may do something that's not smart or not right, but how are you going to overcome it? How are you going to respond when you don't do something right? Are you going to keep doing the wrong, but are you going to turn around and make the situation better for yourself and for everybody else around you? It's when they get older, it's how are they if they make a wrong decision as a husband, are they going to keep making the wrong decisions, or are they going to turn the situation around and make better choices? And that's what I want them to do. Is like I want to teach them life lessons. And that's what football's about, is teaching life lessons. So hopefully one day, they'll learn from it. And I will tell you this: I walked out at halftime, and there was a young man standing on the fence that I coached at Centennial, and he said some words to me, and I got a little emotional, but like for him to show up. Mm-hmm. There, I mean, he's moved off from Franklin, but he was standing on the fence, and then he was cheering us on, and first thing he said to me, he was like, "Coach, you got 24 minutes, go get him." And he said, "I love you, Coach. Thank you for everything that you've ever done for me." And I mean, stuff like that means the world to me. I mean, he didn't have to take time out of his day to come and watch us play, but how much of an impact we have on these young men.
It made the effort to come and tell you that, know, too. It's going to be quite a night next week, and I did want to say I was the first person to interview you when you came to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, and you tried to get me fired, too.
No,
Yes,
no,
you did.
No, that was
Mr. Smith told me all about it.
Mr. Smith. But anyway, and we talked about how long this would take, and We were pretty much right on it, I think. So, glad to be able to do this interview today. That's Matt Kreisky, the head coach of the Blackman Blaze. They take on Oakland on what is it? It's Friday, isn't it?
It is Friday.
That's after Thanksgiving. I'm so used to going to Maryville.
Oh my gosh!
Stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I would appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Treasurer Jan Stewart.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend to other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I would appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Treasurer Jan Stewart.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. Get instant sale, no contingencies.
That means the sale of your property won't depend on an inspection, financing, or appraisals.
I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Call Parks Auction and Realty or visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Raider Tees isn't just about t-shirts. We've got jackets, scarves, polos, hats, even jewelry and home decor. Everything to show off your Middle Tennessee Blue Raider pride. Whether you're headed to the game or just want to represent the Blue Raiders every day, we've got you covered. Literally. Come check out our exclusive designs and unbeatable selection at 111 East MTCS Road, right across from MTCS. Raider Tees, bigger, better, and go blue.
Pizza. You can now order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. We've made ordering online a breeze. From sirpizzatn.com, tap on the location nearest you and begin your order for carryout or delivery. You can order the Royal Feast, create your own, spaghetti, calzones, everything right from our online portal at sirpizzatn.com. Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service. We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service reminds you that it makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We've been serving Rutherford County since 1988.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
We're just off Memorial Boulevard at 142 Heritage Park Drive.
Franklin's Print Works is more than a print shop. They're a proud part of Rutherford County.
It is a focus of ours to be involved in the community. We partner with folks like the Journey Home and the Center for the Arts and all these places that help make our community better, and we're proud to do that.
Jeff Carlton with Franklin's Print Works, supporting local businesses, schools, nonprofits with high-quality printing, banners, signs, direct mail, and more.
We love to do stuff for the churches, for schools, for nonprofits.
Franklin's Print Works, trusted by the community.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brents at Rick's Barbecue, carrying on the Lanning family tradition.
I'm passionate about it, and I have a lot of my dad in me, so I know that I have the same energy and mindset that he does.
It's the best barbecue you'll eat, the smoked chicken out of this world, and those loaded baked potatoes.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds. People ask us that all the time. They're like, where do y'all get those potatoes from?
A quick meal feeding the whole family or catering, they can do it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSsports.com, and Big G TV.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. You can find out more at CraigsTaxService.com. John Dingens with the privilege of having Coach Kevin Creasy here with me this morning. We just talked to the opposing coach you've got next week. His game was a little different than your game.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's a big win over at Blackman. I thought they did a great job of beating just a powerhouse, well-coached powerhouse team like Maryville. Not every team could do that. I know Blackman's had a great year, but a lot of people would just be like, oh, here comes, the boogeyman into the house, and we just got to lay down and let them take the win and go back to East Tennessee and play on Thanksgiving like they always do. But a lot of credit's got to be given to Blackman and Matt Kreisky doing a heck of a job over there.
We want to talk about your game. I know I got a text from a fan last night, and it said they're killing us with the penalties. Okay, so I want to get that out of the way first.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah, there were a lot of penalties, just tremendous amount of flags, and we've been a disciplined football team all year. We jumped off sides, I think, 8 times. We felt like there was a reason we were jumping off sides. Warned the referees about it. It was a no-go. Ended up having some flags on Green Hill as well. So, they were dispersing them pretty regularly, and, there were some controversial calls, a guy down at the 3-yard line, knee hits the ground. But, it was like on second down, so he might have got in anyway. And then a ball rolls out of the back of the end zone, and the guy jumps on it, and they call it a touchdown instead of a touchback. Just one thing after another. But, those things happen. And how you respond to it makes all the difference. At the end of the day, Green Hill had a great plan. I thought they did a good job of executing it. They had 39 seniors, 10 of them start on offense. I think 8 of them start on defense. Special teams, they had seniors galore. They didn't want their season to end, and I thought they came out and played us great and probably deserved to win. I thought our guys responded well in the fourth quarter, and like I said, overcame a lot of bad things happening to us. So give credit to our seniors as well.
didn't panic, evidently. I mean, and when you talk about the fourth quarter, we're talking 6 minutes into the fourth quarter, really. I mean, it happened fast, didn't it?
It did. Down 2 scores, it kind of reminded me a little bit of last year. Our guys last year, they just came from behind in the second, third, fourth, and championship game. We were behind in all 4 of those games last year in the playoffs and fought back. But, you keep getting behind, it's going to catch up to you. And, we were real fortunate to come out with a win last night.
You like ball control. You like keeping the ball out of the opponent's hands. And it was, I think, a big. Were they not almost going to score at the end of the first half?
Yeah.
And y'all held them.
Yeah.
That was a crucial play, I thought.
Yeah. I thought they did a good job, moving the ball on us and, putting on. I think they scored more points than anybody had in the first half. They went over 100 yards rushing, which we hadn't allowed 100 yards rushing all year. But when it counted, our defense stepped it up. Our defense caused a fumble inside the 10-yard line. They stopped them from scoring right before the half. But again, Green Hill answered the bell, and they stopped us from scoring right before the half. We have 2 opportunities in the red zone, throw passes to, one 6'3" receiver, one 6'5.5" receiver, and neither one of them come down with it. So a lot of credit's got to be given to Green Hill, and I thought Coach Crouch did a great job.
What was going through your head? I'm a little scared to even ask this. What was going through your head when it was 17-7? I mean the fourth quarter had started, and maybe you cut it to 14. I'm not sure, by 3, but it was kind of gloom and doom there for a little bit.
Yeah, it was. We were in some rough spots, but we would get 7 yards on first down and walk up to the line on 2nd and 3, and then next thing you know, we get a 5-yard penalty for somebody flinching or the center snapping it earlier. So just little bitty things that turn 2nd and 3 into 2nd and 8.
Is it not hard to get flow when that happens? I mean, to me that causes an offense.
Yeah, you didn't really get much of a rhythm. We had 3rd and extra long quite a bit. Had to go for it 4 times on 4th down. It's great when you make it, but there were 2 times when we didn't make it and put our defense in some rough spots. And, in the playoffs, you're going to have to make some plays, whether you use 4 downs or 3 downs. And if you don't make it, the defense better be ready to make those guys not be able to convert on 4th down. So it was, some people say an ugly game. Some people say it's one of the best games they've seen. Ultimately, it was a bunch of hard-nosed senior kids on both teams that refused for their season to be over. And, last year, Green Hill played Blackman in the first round, came in highly touted. I think they were undefeated and gave Blackman a heck of a game for a half. And then next thing you know, Blackman blew their doors off. And so they reamped their schedule, got tougher opponents. And Green Hill came in, I think, 10-2, but their 2 losses were to Page and Ravenwood, 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we faced a heck of an opponent, and I think
they kind of slid under the radar with everybody,
yeah,
in terms of that too.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just the coaches that are trying to, give those guys a heads up in the locker room, like, hey, these guys are for real. They got a winner at quarterback. They got a number 17 that I absolutely love, man. He scored their first touchdown, I believe, but he played a heck of a game on defense as well. Just overall great football player. But like I said, they had 39 seniors, and they got a lot of pride over there, and they wanted to make sure that their season didn't end. And luckily, somewhere around halftime, our guys decided that too. Second half was a little better to us. Hadn't quite made it through the fourth quarter. I've turned the computer off twice watching it, just trying not to, punch my screen out or whatever. So I've took a few walks this morning, and hopefully I can get back in there and finish it up. But real proud a couple efforts. Preston Rose, been playing hurt all year, went in and had a heck of a job with our offensive line. And Kyrie Gaynor sealed the deal by picking the ball off at the end of the game. He's having a tremendous senior year. So ultimately, it's one of those deals where you got to lean on those guys that got you there. There comes a point in every game where, they know what you're going to do. We know what they're going to do. That's what was making me so mad. We knew what they were going to do. And, they probably knew what we were going to do. At some point, it comes down to who's the toughest and who's going to out-execute the other one. And we were losing those battles time after time.
I want to mention a few more names here. I guess it's that time to do that because you have some guys, and these are standard names that pop up. Travion Jackson, he had 7 tackles and a sack. What a year he's had! I mean, it's been crazy. I think we mention him every week.
Every week he is mentioned. Him and Cullen Williams, both inside backers, just usually double-digit tackles. Trayvon's so versatile. We can move him to the D line. We can move him to linebacker, inside backer, outside backer. Well, this week we moved him to fullback, and he was in on the touchdown drive. He was the reason for the touchdown drive. Just unselfish, found out about a kid, that was hurt. And so we had to make some moves. And sure enough, Trayvon learns offense in like 3 days. Unfortunately, Justice Haggard had surgery this week and is out the rest of his senior year. And
so that news was as bad as you were hoping it wasn't. But
yeah. So, we alluded to it last week. He had an official visit to Southern Miss. He went on that in a boot and came back and got x-rays and had a clean break in his leg. So the surgery went well. He was at the ball game Friday night. The surgery was Friday morning. And, you lose a guy like Justice Haggard.
Yeah.
He leads our team in touchdowns. Had a great game last time against Blackman. Played defense for us. We had some guys that had to step up. And I thought we did a good job with people filling in for Justice, and ultimately in the second half playing hard, to keep it alive, get our guys to the 4th round.
You to mention Cullen, he had a team high 12 tackles, 1 for a loss. Here's a guy that he's one of my favorite, Craig Tutt, 15 carries for 92 yards and a touchdown. But in addition, added 5 tackles and a forced fumble. A lot of people don't realize he plays both ways. I mean, and he's one of those rare. I mean, if you can keep people from playing both ways, it's great. But Travion and he were playing, offense and defense, and that 92 yards. And I know you try to limit a little bit of his offense where he can rest, but you had to have him, I guess, last night too.
Oh yeah. He was in, most of the night on offense. Had a great 4th down. It was 4th and 3, and we run an old tall sweep play, and the dude scores a touchdown, and it gets called back, for a flag. So that was, needless to say, 4th and 8, one of the ones that we didn't make. But Tut showed up big for us. He's going to have to show up big next week. If we're going to have a chance, it was one of those deals where we could kind of have a 1-2 punch with him and Justice Haggard, but now, it's on Tut's shoulders, and, he's going to leave a legacy one way or another, and hopefully it's a good one, so we can just rely on him. And, offensive line, they did a heck of a job of blocking for him, and then on defense, Amarion Woods, just, a talented player that's going to go to college and play football, has just been spot playing all year because we're so deep in the back end. Well, now we're getting thin in the back end, and I thought Amarion Woods did a great job of stepping up and making some huge plays for us on defense.
You guys have always been able to do that, though. I mean, I think I don't know if the word's depth, but you have people that can play multiple positions if need be. I mean, that's always been a big help.
That's one thing that is good about, we try to platoon and get people to go one way, but when you got some special guys that go both ways, then somebody has to practice in their spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Justice would come to offense, Amarion Woods would get plenty of practice time, and then would take Tut, and Amarion would go over there and practice that position. So he's made himself versatile and multiple, and That's things that guys recruiting people for college are looking for. But he's a versatile guy that can play a couple of positions, real talented, but real smart as well.
We're talking to Kevin Creasy, the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. Now, the secret weapon that is out there that we've talked about several weeks, Dante Cameron. These are his stats: 16 carries, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a game-deciding 78-yard TD run late in the fourth quarter in this comeback over Green Hill last night. He also had a 40-yard completion. Yeah. So what does he mean to your squad? Because you've got 2 quarterbacks, and they're both equally really good. And Dante is kind of taking a step in terms of running the football.
Yeah, our other quarterback, Morton, caught the flu this week. And, we thought, man, this is terrible. Flu season's on us. Everybody is going to go through our whole team. Well, he misses school. He misses a Monday practice, which is uncharacteristic for him. But it was, come to find out, a blessing in disguise because it gave Dante every snap, So he wasn't just a part-timer, a half-timer. He got every snap. And because of that, I thought it was huge that on 3rd and 25, he completes a 30-yard completion. He threw basically a touchdown pass that got ripped out right at the end. He is a true dual threat guy, and the way he's running the ball is impressive. And the first time we played Blackman, he probably had 1 or 2 carries a game, and we leaned on him heavy. And that's the thing about it. Blackman's going to be ready for him this time, and it comes down to are we going to be able to, know what's coming, and they're going to know what's coming, and he's still going to have to be able to execute. And, that's what's going to make this game next Friday really interesting.
It's really a different setup with the way they've redone things, and you're going to be at home, semifinals, but it's not a team that you have to look and scout in terms of you've never played before. This is the 2 Rutherford County teams. Do you like that? I mean, I think it makes for a lot of excitement in this county that it's a semifinal game and it's right here in our county.
That is cool. I think that's really cool. I wouldn't even mind meeting 2 Rutherford County teams, in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
That's when I was an assistant coach. Of course, nobody listened to me then. I was like, man, how good would it be to play at at the time it was at MTSU.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2007. And I was at Riverdale, and I was like, wouldn't it be great to have a Riverdale-Smyrna matchup?
Right.
Sonny Gray over there chucking the ball around on MTSU's campus. And, it's just with the travel, it's just hard to kind of get it where you would match up like that. You almost would have to have a north and a south and an east and a west and kind of.
And there have been years where the 1 and 2 teams in Rutherford County probably were 1 and 2 in the state.
I thought that was one of the years, and unfortunately,
you could argue Riverdale last year was. I mean, they were really good.
Yeah, well, in 07, I thought it was one of those cases where they could have happened like that, and I think back then, just like last year, you had to go back through your region, and so you're eliminating really good teams.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool now that we're in the Final Four and there's 2 Rutherford County teams, and I don't know, we may be the 4th best. We'll find out, but there's some really good teams in West Tennessee too, or going west, Ravenwood, Southwind, unbelievable. So whoever wins this matchup, we'll have our hands full the next week, but ultimately, it's good that there's going to be a representative from Rutherford County in the state championship.
Looking at the matchup between you and Blackman, to me, you're fairly similar. I mean, you've got 2 quarterbacks that can run the football. You both like to play control football, like to control the clock. They're bigger probably on the line, but you're very fast on the line. I think that's going to be a great, interesting matchup to look at. What are the things you're concentrating on with Blackman? What are the things that you guys want to keep take away from them, and maybe I don't want to talk about game plan too much, but I know the more they run the ball, the more difficult they're going to be.
Yeah, I think you look at how they've evolved since our game. I think, they've gotten better on offense. You got to figure out what they've done to get better on offense. They have 3 good running backs. We have 3 good running backs. They have a dual threat quarterback. We have a dual threat. They got some weapons at wide receiver. We got weapons at wide receiver. Their defense is really good. Our defense is really good. I think a lot of credit's got to be given to Matt Kreisky, to look at where they came from. This just 3 years ago, the program was not at the standard they wanted it to be, and he went through some tough times, and his staff is stuck together. They believe in their philosophy. Just a year ago they were beat by Coffee County, and that would have been easy to throw rocks at the head coach or the coordinators or whatever, and ultimately they stuck together, and they believed, and they didn't have a bunch of kids leave the school. They didn't have a bunch of coaches leave the school. They stuck together, and they're paying they're reaping the benefits of that, and that's credit to Coach Kreisky and his staff and the people in that school that believe in him. And man, they got great support, and for them to have the season they're having, it just tells you what can be accomplished when everybody believes in that locker room, and so I'm sure they're excited for the rematch, and it's going to be a huge crowd. The crowd last time we played at kickoff, they said there were cars lined up bumper to bumper getting off I-24, and
wow.
That's at the kickoff.
Yeah.
So you better buy the tickets early online.
They'll be in Las Casas out there parking somewhere.
And I'm sure with the weapons detection system and all that stuff, we'll probably get a jump start on it. 5:30. So get there early, get you a seat early, and should be a great matchup.
Now, y'all have your construction is all finished now.
That's right.
It looks really pretty. It's beautiful. Yep. Riverdale and Oakland both. But things look a little different. So when they get there, they're going to have to kind of maneuver their way. But basically, the parking is the same. It hasn't really been affected by anything, has it?
No, I think there's more parking now. But if you get there after 6 o'clock, you better just park at the middle school and walk.
That's probably wisest. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the best thing you can do, home or away fans. But yeah, it's not an issue like it has been the last 3 years, and we got great people working the gates, and they'll get you in and out. Ultimately, that's exactly what you strive for, is to play on Thanksgiving, and now both schools are getting that privilege. It is a privilege to play, this week. And I think both fan bases need to come out and give the guys what they deserve. They deserve a great environment. And unfortunately, last night, I guess half our fan base probably went to watch the Blackman game. We had a lot of empty seats. That was not good at kickoff when you look over and Green Hills fans had already beat our fans. So it wasn't just that we got out-coached or our guys got outplayed for 3 quarters. Our fans got whooped too. It was pretty embarrassing to look up and to see Green Hill, who was hungry and hadn't been in this situation before, just pack the stands and just get loud as all get out. And then you look up and we got half our section empty, student section not available. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing, but hopefully we've learned a valuable lesson from that, and we could use some support.
I think it's going to be a great crowd. I'm going to quiz you here. How many semifinals have you been with Trousdale County, everything combined? Do you know that number?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have our researcher Brian Barrett look that up, because that's got to be how many state
championships? It's 11 for 11 here at Oakland, so that's a good accomplishment, and like I said, that's
a lot of people forget about your success at Trousdale County. I'm from there, so I don't forget that.
Yeah, we had some great runs, and that's where we got the slogan, if you're practicing on Thanksgiving, you had a great season. So that was ultimately our goal, and we made it there a lot back then as well.
Your wife would not know how to act if you don't play on, if don't have a game after Thanksgiving, I guess.
Right. If I'm not eating Thanksgiving dinner out of a styrofoam plate because I'm at the field house, it's been a very depressing season. I can't remember the last time I went to a Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody knows not to expect me. They're probably happier that way anyway, because if I'm not playing, I'm probably a little grumpy sitting there watching the Cowboys lose anyway.
Yeah, and you'd probably just sit there and worry. I mean, if you had a game, right? I mean,
if I had a game.
Well, how does that work on? And I meant to ask Matt that because it'd be the first time for them, I guess, in terms of that. But the process on, I guess it's Thursday, the Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
What is it? Morning practice and.
Yeah, it's morning practice, and try to get those guys out because a lot of them have to travel, but we'll feed them a breakfast, and try to watch a little film. But ultimately, it's a glorified walkthrough. But it's been on the calendar since we handed out the calendar in the spring, and so we expect everybody to be there, and hopefully there's no exceptions. And the cool part, got this from Trousdale County as well, is we have a lot of alumni that come back, a lot of former players, and they watch practice and make sure things are still, being held to a high standard, and people are still practicing like they did back in the day, and just to kind of give those guys an attaboy for making it this far. And so it's cool to have former players come out that Thanksgiving morning, and a lot of them are from out of town, and they're back to see their families, and they come by and give a shout out to our guys. That's pretty neat.
Do you ever miss? I'm going way off in history now. Do you ever miss those days though with single A or whatever, double A football?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because it was a lot simpler, wasn't it, in terms of who you had? You got what you got, and you played with them, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's where we get the two-way players from. We learned a long time ago we didn't want our best players over on the sideline clapping when the game was on the line. We wanted them playing, and so that's kind of old school philosophy. But
so there's two names in Trousdale County: the Satterfields and Creasy, right?
No, there's not any Creasy's. But yeah, there's some Holders and there's some Harpers.
Right.
There's some Gregorys. Every championship game I ever won, I had a Harper, a Gregory, or a Holder on the team.
That's true. I knew some Gregorys too as well. Yeah. Coach, good luck next week. And I said the same thing to Matt. It's going to be a great game. And wow, this hadn't happened in a long, long time, folks. So you better get a seat. Everybody get there because it's going to be packed. All right?
That's right.
Coach, good seeing you again, and we'll talk to you next time, I guess, somewhere along the line. Maybe.
That sounds good.
All right. This portion of the show brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. Order your favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. That's going to be it for the Prentice Awesome Heating Air Coach's Corner. Stay with us because coming up next, it's Cougar Corner.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wommel. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto.
Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm agent Alex Williams. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-898-1150 and let me help you save by combining your auto and renters.
Hey, it's Brian. I want to tell you about my bank, First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. In a world that's changing, replacing local with global, personal contact with a screen, and human expertise with AI, I'm happy that First National Bank of Middle Tennessee is here in Murfreesboro with real experts that will show up to get the job done. 2 locations on Gateway and Memorial Boulevards.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to support Rutherford County high school athletes. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. Many lawyers are quick to say that they'll take the insurance company to court for you. But how do you know if the lawyer is an experienced trial attorney? Ask them if they're certified. And in order to be certified, you have to have tried a lot of cases, taken a 2-day test, and get recommendations from judges and other lawyers. My wife Joy and I are both certified as civil trial specialists, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door and hope you find the customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed Supply caters to all homeowners with a 1/4 acre to several acres, focusing on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
And yes, you can even get milk from the MTSU dairy at Las Casas Feed Supply, the best milk in town. Las Casas Feed on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
It's time to talk about Middle Tennessee Christian School sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org. Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider?
At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
Hey, all you last-minute shoppers out there, this Christmas, give her something that stops your heart and starts it again from J. Mullins Jewelry. Breathtaking diamonds, custom pieces, and even redesign or repair. At J. Mullins Jewelry, we've been making Murfreesboro sparkle since 1938. Now located at 1640 Memorial Boulevard behind McAllister's brand new location. So stop in and see us. J. Mullins Jewelry, let's make this her brightest Christmas ever. New location, 1640 Memorial Boulevard.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
I just really appreciate Danny and his whole team. I always feel like I'm going to get great service and the right outcome.
You just don't find any better people.
He's always been very good.
We've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff. Treasurer, Jan Stewart.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's has a team of experienced auctioneers and realtors who make selling your property simple. Whether you're selling your home, farm, or have an estate to settle, auctions are easy, fast, and profitable. You don't have to worry about the hassle of updates, repairs, or showings, and you'll receive multiple offers on auction day.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
This week, so congrats on that.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, that
always good to break the ice, isn't it?
Yeah. You know that first one can always be tough, and did it early on, which is a good thing. So, kind of tell us about Chris Lawson, where you came from, and how you landed at Middle Tennessee Christian School.
Well, I grew up in Columbia, Tennessee. My dad was high school basketball coach at a small 1A school there in Murray County. His entire career, same school, which is almost unheard of now, but it was Hampshire High School. So I graduated. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to play college basketball in the NAIA level. Graduated from Martin Methodist, which is now UT Southern, and really wanted to do something different other than coaching. I was looking at something medical field, something like that, and I got a phone call for a teaching position and an assistant coach at Columbia Central right after I graduated, and decided to take it because it was much better income and situation at the time than anything else that I had or had ever had at that age. So once I got into coaching, it was just, I loved it. I didn't want to do anything else, and felt like I related well to players and students and that kind of thing. And so I believe this is year 20. It quick. I spent 6 years at Columbia. We moved to North Alabama in the Huntsville area. I was at Hazel Green High School for a year as an assistant coach. Took a job at Madison County High School and was there for 7 years as an assistant coach. And I always say, like I always tell people who ask, I'm so thankful for all those years as an assistant and to be able to work for different head coaches, because I feel like I got a glimpse of different styles, of different environments and all of that. And, I'm not perfect by any means, but the experience side of things I felt like really helped me. So we moved back 6 years ago into this area. I took the head job at Cascade, spent 5 years there. Had a pretty good run there. Cascade's a special place. Enjoyed them, and the private sector, I feel like, is growing tremendously, especially in Tennessee and in Middle Tennessee specifically. I knew immediately when MTCS opened up that was something that I was interested in, and here we are.
Yeah. You must know Davey McLaren at Eagleville pretty well then, if you were at Cascade.
I do. Saw him last night. I went and watched Cascade, their home opener against Eagleville, and Eagleville's got a really, really good team. I think they're a strong favorite to be in the state tournament, and who knows? They could end up winning the whole thing this year. He's got a really nice team. Yeah,
Davey's a good guy, and we have a lot of really good coaches here in this area, and I would say that and be very biased in that, obviously. But you mentioned something about being an assistant for all those years, and I wonder how much, not only that, but seeing what your dad did at Hampshire all those years, that had to influence you and your coaching style and what you do and help you develop the coach that Chris Lawson wants to be.
Absolutely. There's, to me, and it's taken a while for me to really understand this, but there's so much more than just coaching on the court during games. Managing, people, that's coaches, players, parents, and like you're running a program, so to speak. And I think that is the part that when you talk about experience, and again, like I'm not perfect, okay, so I'm not saying that at all, but it's hard. It's not easy. And for somebody that doesn't get the experience up front, maybe as an assistant coach, I think that makes things even more difficult at times. And so for me, I kind of wanted to be a head coach earlier, but looking at it now, and I had the last one I worked for, his name was Bubba Webster at Madison County, but he told me right before I left for Cascade, he said, you got plenty of time left to be a head coach. He said, there's no rush on that at all. And it really just put into perspective how valuable that time was. And then obviously with my dad all those years, you know, I got a firsthand look at how to treat people. And, you know, I feel like that is something that no matter what the win and loss column says ever, like I am going to treat people right. I'm going to treat kids right, you know, and I'm going to try to do things the right way as far as that goes.
We're talking with Chris Lawson, the new boys basketball coach at MTCS. I say new. You've had some time, had some spring and and all that to work with the team. You said managing a program, and that made me think about the unique opportunity you have as the head coach at MTCS. Not only to have, of course, your handprint all over the varsity program, but you know and most head coaches have JV and working those young kids. But I mean, you get to see kids 5th and 6th grade and then middle school. And that's really kind of what it has been at MTCS in terms of program. It's kind of looking at the future as well. That's a pretty unique thing that you get to do there.
It is. It's, you know, the word in my mind, it's a platform that comes to mind to be able to, number one, grow and develop young basketball players, really all the way from we start at 2nd grade, but all the way we start basketball at 2nd grade at MTCS. But to be able to, you know, grow them and develop them in that aspect, but also to just have, you know, that influence of how we're going to do things, how we act in the hallways, how we, you know what's important, our priorities, and all of that. And it's really cool to be able to, you know, I walk down the hallway to lunch, and I pass through the middle school, and I see those kids and can talk to them. Same thing for our high school guys; they can do the same thing, and see the elementary kids when you get to that part of the school. And it's a community right there on campus within a bigger Murfreesboro community. And so it's cool to kind of have that set up in that environment. I think it is a very unique opportunity to have a positive influence from a young age all the way up to, you know, when they graduate.
Coach, you were talking about how important it is, or your time as an assistant and the work that assistants do. Maybe it's kind of like being the offensive lineman on a football team. Maybe you don't get as much recognition, but it's very important. So I'm sure with that background, you've tried to surround yourself with some good assistants there.
I've been very fortunate. I want to get the best possible people around me that I can. So when I knew I was coming to MTCS and I got the job, I called a guy named Nick Watson. He'd been an assistant coach at Oklahoma the last few years. They had a ton of success, but he's a Murfreesboro guy. Been there, you know, his whole life. I guess he's kind of lived in that area, his adult life. But he immediately, you know, he was on board. He wanted to come, and I knew he related well to kids. You know, and so that was a good pickup for us as far as, you know, just being able to relate to them. And I knew that he had experience, and you need somebody, not that you won't take somebody new, but you need somebody with experience. You need somebody that when they see something, you know, the head coach doesn't always have to say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. He just kind of naturally will do things. And I'm talking, we really tried hard to support football, volleyball, you know, and other sports in the fall. And he would show up and grill burgers, and I would go to the concession stand and try to help out in there. And, you know, just things like that. And then also picked up a couple guys that are in the Murfreesboro area, but they're old Columbia contacts and basketball guys. DJ Ricks, you know, he works another job, but he's there, and he stayed over from last year's coaching staff. And then I picked up another guy named Waddell Williams, who played at a high level. He played at a high level in college, and then was fortunate enough to have a few years professional ball overseas. So kind of having those guys with some basketball experience, but also some experience just dealing with basketball programs and coaching and understanding things helps a ton. Then I got to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
I hired on 2 young guys, Jackson Davis and Khalil Marshall, to kind of run the younger, middle school. We have a 5th and 6th grade team, and just to kind of help there. And so they could get some experience, but also, I could kind of be right there to help out and manage things, that kind of thing. Well, Jackson Davis played for me at Cascade.
Oh, nice.
3 years, 2 sub-state teams. And so for him, this is the coolest thing for him to want to get into coaching and to want to be a part and to kind of take that step has been really, really rewarding. I think on my end, I hope he sticks, stays in it. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, for sure. But I hope he sticks with it and continues to grow and develop as a good young coach, and Khalil as well. So anyway, I had to mention them.
Yeah. Well, just wait till we start those 3-game weeks here coming up
in
January. And one final thing here, Coach. This MTCS boys program has been a proud program that has won lots of basketball games, has, even in the Division I era, made a trip to the Murphy Center, which is everybody's goal, in Division I, Division II, of course, getting to the state championship game. The last few years have not been to the standard I wouldn't think that MTCS would like to see out there. And, my point is a program that's hungry and that gives you a lot of motivation and your kids a lot of motivation, I would think.
You hit it right on the head. The word you just mentioned, hungry, is, I'm not going to beat around the bush. That is exactly the way that it feels. From the time I walked in and met the guys and the people, from parents, staff, teachers, there's a hunger there to be competitive. And I feel like everybody that I've kind of dealt with so far and been involved with at MTCS is very, very realistic about kind of where the program, was, where it is maybe, and kind of where they want it to go, what they want to see. And it's not just wins and losses. It's a culture thing that, just doing things the right way. And I've always been a firm believer in process. I feel like wins and losses will take care of themselves if you get the process right and if you get the right people around the program. And you just, Nick Saban always said it best. He said you get the right ones on the bus and the wrong ones off the bus, and it'll go where you want it to go. And so that's kind of what we're working on right now. We're in that part of the process where we're trying to get the right folks involved and going in the right direction, and we're going to have faith that wins and losses will take care of themselves if we continue to do things the right way.
Well, Coach, we look forward to talking with you on Saturday mornings. The next time we talk boys basketball will be December 20th, and right before holidays and all that kind of thing. So we'll get into the nuts and bolts of what's been going on and some of the games. We wish you all the success. I believe we're coming out. I think the date is December 12th when you play PCA. Plan to broadcast those games, and so really looking forward to seeing you there and here on the Coaches Show and following your program.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Chris Lawson, the head coach of Middle Tennessee Christian School Boys, joining us here on Cougar Corner. Don't forget, if you missed part of our interviews this morning with the girls and boys basketball coaches at MTCS, you can check the podcast. It'll be up shortly at wgnssports.com or on our YouTube channel as well. Want to thank John Dinkins for taking care of the first part of the program, and of course our producer Dalton Barrett. We're going to be off this next Saturday for Thanksgiving break, and the following Saturday we'll have kind of hopefully some football conversation about a state championship appearance for somebody. And then back here with basketball talk on the 13th and 20th before the holidays. So that's kind of our schedule ahead. Have a great Saturday, everybody, and we hope you'll join us next time here on MTCS Cougar Corner.